How's everybody doing? Mic check, mic check, mic check. 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 Okay, I was not, yeah, I don't know if it was me or what, but I was not, this, some of my equipment is pretty fucking old, but I was not getting any sound. All I did was literally turn it off in the Xbox settings and turn it back on, then I could suddenly hear it, so, okay. Okay. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I'm at least gonna go until it's lunchtime for me and the cats. And in the background, I have White Christmas. It's got. Let me see if I can. This is like an old classic. It might have been black and white. I think it's one they colorized, but I think it's got Bing Crosby. It's got a dancing, singing duo of sisters. And I can't think of the. I think he was a regular with some of the Bing Crosby stuff, but I can't think of his name. But I'm actually gonna try and finish this. Oh, wait a minute, maybe I did. Let me go back out. I think I actually finished this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on. There we go. Okay, that's the one I'm currently tracking. Alright, I don't know if we'll do it today, but I'll start heading there. And what I'm gonna do is, I think I got killed a couple times, so I'm gonna go here and make sure all my equipment is healed up. Yep, okay, I needed to repair stuff. Alright, now... Okay, I'm gonna get both of those, these here. And then I think I'm gonna walk up to that one yellow quest, gold quest or whatever.
Ah, you have good timing, friend. Kvera here is convinced her husband is possessed by a demon.
He is. Been disappearing all hours, coming home with bloody hands. He says he does not remember, but
I thought I
he
did
was
this
scaring
one.
me. So I tied him up in the cellar until I could get help.
And help you shall have. Come, show us where he is. The door is damaged. Kvera, stay outside just in case.
All right.
Demons manifesting already? I don't see her husband.
What was that?
Vasek, my husband. He was hiding upstairs. He ran out there, quick, before he hurt someone else.
Are you all right?
He looks worse than it is. I will live. Go!
There! Damn, he's gone into the sewers!
Father, protect me! What was that horrible thing? Father, protect me! What was that horrible thing?
Maybe this is what, 'cause I'm not gonna go chasing all after a whole bunch. I want to go do one thing. And usually they send you on a mission, and I just wanted to collect the mission, but it's right here.
Vasek, wait!
Having a good day. I think it's snowing, but it isn't sticking on the ground, which is good for me. And
I must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet.
I must have had a piece of equipment that was healing me, because I'm not noticing my health going up anymore.
must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet.
No, we won't forsake you!
I'm not ready yet.
He's close. Careful. This situation is delicate. Like before, take my chalice and place it down as near him as you can. I'll keep his attention. Vasek, just stay calm. Will you say the litanies with me?
No! No! Stay away!
Everything is going to be all right. Father Inarius, as I shed my wicked blood, let it be purified in thy light.
Stop! Please! It hurts!
Let the light fill the darkness.
No! No!
Something's wrong. Vasek!
Look upon the shattered remains of this poor wretch and lament your own demise. Relish your meaningless victory while you can.
Vasek, I've failed you. I'm so sorry. We need to get out of here. I'm fine. It's nothing one fire and rest can't cure. Thank you. As badly as things went, they would have been much worse without you. Somehow, I must find the words to talk to Vera about our husband. Take care of yourself, child.
I don't know if I'm high enough for that. Yeah, I'm only 29. So I'm doing that one yet. I don't know that I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna head for that one. And then I'm just a stone's throw from this one, which I actually want to do.
Not while I'm in town. I cannot do that here.
bullshit. When you go into a thing like that, you should be safe from attacks so you can kind of look around. Kind of like in Diablo 3. That's just piss poor design. I ain't gonna worry about it today, but I gotta turn the volume down on that.
The night has teeth beyond these walls. Better we bed down here so that we see the dawn.
What do you want sucking the life out of you? The vampires
Okay,
in the
that's the
forest,
one I'm looking
or
at.
the merchants right
Space
here in
truck.
town?
You know what? I'm getting lightheaded and the cats are going to need to get fed pretty soon. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign off now. If I can, for my later stream, I'm going to try and watch a thing on Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think that's their name. They're the ones that investigated the stuff for the Conjuring movies, Amityville Horror. And there was one that I started watching this morning, and about 5-10 minutes into it, I'm like, man, I think I want to do a stream on this. So I figured I'd wait and watch it, and watch it like after I eat lunch, before I come on and stream, and be able to have it a little fresher in my mind and talk about it. And then might even look and see if you can find it online to watch, like on YouTube or something. But here's the thing, and I can't remember what I was watching, but they were talking on there how UFO people don't like paranormal people, the ghost people, and the ghost people don't like UFO people, and both of them hate ancient archaeology. And here's my thing on it, and again, I'm trying to keep an open mind, and I honestly think that by having that division, you're maybe holding us all back. And I'll be talking about, if I can remember it and keep this thought in my head, I'll be talking about that during the stream. If you're still here, if you're still checking out, please get a hold of your Congress people and ask them to get assisted suicide legalized. We're watching people get killed on a daily basis. I mean, hell, now we even got lunatics that are trying to blame Israel for the terrorists that are attacking. They were talking about this on Morning Joe yesterday. They've got, and these people are on the left. These are somewhat my people, you know. It was kind of like when I was working down in Indiana. There was there was some shit that these people were asking for. And when I was team leader, I'm like, well, it's nothing I could do, but I proposed it to management. I go, and there's one time where they actually didn't want to do it because we had a snow day for day shift. Not us. We had to work. I think we might have had one the next day, but like we were on third shift and we were getting ready to leave. And what they announced was that day shift wasn't coming in. So we were going to basically run up until it was time to go. And where normally what would happen is when the other shift got in, they got off the line like a couple minutes early. Because the other shift would do their team meeting or not. And then when they got done, they'd come let us go. And then that gave everybody enough time to walk up. You were still getting paid while you were walking up to the time clock. And one of the things, and I got, this is the downside of the union. Like when I first started, this is back in 2000, like a quarter of a century ago. You didn't have to punch out. You punched in. At the end of the day, you went home. You didn't have to punch out. You just walked out. And then if you got out early, it was up to your boss to clock you out. You didn't even clock out then, and if management fucked up, you got paid for the whole day, Well, they had so many people down there who were leaving early. Like, you had a guy, and he was in my area, but he wasn't on my ship. But this is what I was hearing from somebody else. If they lied to me, I'm lying to you. But he was leaving early, and the assistant plant manager was near the door. And she goes, "Where are you going?" And he goes, "I'm done." She goes, "You're not leaving early." I said, "I'm done." And he walked out. And there were other people doing this. And they and again, like at my plant, we had a little bit of this at my plant because I don't even want to get into who these people were. And as far as I know, I think those jobs may have now been eliminated because and maybe it was just still at my plant, but like at my plant when I was there, security I think was still in-house, maybe not, and the people that cleaned and there were certain jobs like the people that cleaned and those were still in-house. And this was a normal thing. This was absolutely a normal thing. Whenever it was contract time, you always knew when it was contract, like about a month or two before it was going to be contract time. You always knew because you'd actually see people come out and fucking sweep and clean and do this other stuff. Otherwise, you never saw them. They're just missing in action. And the one guy in the union, he came by and he just, because they were gearing up for contract negotiations, and he knew the one guy I worked next to had been in the Navy, and if the stories are told in that movie, The Great Escape, I think it's the guy on the motorcycle that got caught up in the barbed wire fence at the end of the movie. That was his grandfather or something like that. The guy worked next to me, and then according to him, now I don't know if any of it's true, it's just what he told me. I'm not calling him a liar, I just don't know. He claimed that he had been, I think he was a medic or something, who'd been assigned to the SEALs. So he had to go through some of their bullshit for the training so he could travel with them and stuff. And I don't know if he went on every mission, but there were certain ones where they had to take him, I guess, if I'm understanding it right. And I may not be understanding it right. But he was talking about it. He goes, well, yeah, I think it was Steve McQueen or something like that. But he goes, yeah, that was our grandfather. And he goes, check the movie out, and you'll see that he's got the same last name as us. And he goes, we didn't know until they wouldn't let us know until like junior high or high school when we were kids. Every now and then in the summer he'd have his shirt off and he'd be all scarred up. Well, he's the one who got caught in that barbed wire fence during the escape. And but like he came out and he was walking by and he looked around because it was like, you know, it was the time where these guys were supposed to be out there fucking cleaning and shit. And he goes, I don't understand this. He goes, we're gearing up for a contract negotiation. He goes, you were in the military, right? And you know, the guy said, yeah. He goes, you know, didn't you know how to do busy work? You know, and he goes, oh yeah. He goes, you just walk around with a broom or a mop, mop up a little bit, or walking around with a clipboard checking stuff, you know, just to make it look like you were busy. And you know, because he said, you know, we're getting ready to go, and he goes, this is the thing they do. It's like all year round, or for 3 of the 4 years, they don't do nothing. You never see them. And then like a month or two before the contract, phew, you got people out there. He goes, they're trying to figure out how they can get gloves because they actually need them. And I think we had one guy. There was this one little black guy. He actually came out and cleaned every day, but everybody else was just fucking. But again, I'm not even sure he cleaned anything. But you at least saw him. He looked like he was busy. And but he said, yeah, these guys make our fucking job hard. He goes, these jobs are going to get eliminated eventually. And we had management like that for us team leaders down there. Like the one guy goes, man, you're always, he goes, he goes, most time I see you, you're sitting around, but he goes, I've looked into it. He goes, you're getting your work done. And I told him, I go, well, here's the thing. I go, and I told him, I go, he ended up leaving. He had some fucking issues, and they correctly, I think, got rid of him. And he you know, he was doing, I told him, I go, well, you know, there's a thing that's wrong with management. I go, there's people in management, I go, most of them have never worked a fucking job in their life. They just haven't. And they want everybody to be busy every minute, every day. And I go, you got to think of us team leaders. And I go, repair guys are the same way. I go, you guys got to think of them like firemen. And I go, if everything's running and everything's, you know, I go, you said you looked into me. Job's getting done. Paperwork's done. Everything's good. We're sending good parts. We're not seeing a ton of shit ending up in the computer. We're not seeing a ton of shit that I have to go repair. I go, that's good. And I go, that's what you should be hoping for. But I go, you get these people that want to see you busy every minute fucking sweeping or cleaning. I go, well, what's going to happen is, I go, you got to think of me as a fireman. I go, now if a fire breaks out, do you really want them busy doing a whole bunch of shit, or do you want them ready to respond and keep the line moving? And he looked at me, he goes, you know, I never really thought of it that way, but you're right, you know. But I go, that's the problem. And then what happens is there were jobs like that. Like when I first started working down here, I might have been still a temp. I might have been summer help that year. There was one year I worked summer help, and I basically did the job until I actually got a full-time job to work. And I guess they hired everybody at the end of the summer, but I went and told my boss, I was giving her like 2 weeks notice or something like that. And she goes, you're leaving? And I go, well, this is a part-time job. And I go, I got a full-time job waiting. And I go, it might not be there when the summer's over. So I left. And I think they did hire everybody, which would have been nice for me if I had known. But see, this thing, management played those kind of fucking games all the time. Or the union did. The union should have basically let everyone know, yeah, everybody that's still here, we're working on getting you hired. Something like that to let us know. But it was always this hurry up and wait bullshit. And but this girl, she made that job look easy. She really did. And it really didn't look like you had to work hard. Every time she took a day off, they had to stick 2 people on that job. Because what they did is, she knew how to do it. And so they were always adding shit to her, and it was stuff that she could, as long as, and we heard them planning it down there in Indiana. It's like, oh, you put these jobs on there, you get them all worked up where everybody can do them, and then like 6 months later, when everybody can sort of do them, then you add a little bit more to it. And then what happens, you got all these jobs that nobody can fucking do, unless they get like, and there was one job when I was summer help, I think it was the first job I did, they stuck me on it, and I want this to sink in. There was a guy going on vacation. I had a week to learn that job. It was an offline job. I built up like heating units or air conditioner units, and then I put them on a conveyor. I had to build them in sequence, and then they went up a conveyor, and then they put them in the vehicle. And I got there, and I go, well, how long do I got to learn it? And it was the guy who had the job. He goes, oh, you got like a week to learn this. And I go, well, how long am I going to be doing? He goes, it was like 2 days. I don't even think it was a full week. It was like 2 days. It was 1 or 2 days that I had to do it. And I go, that doesn't make any sense. He goes, welcome to GM. That was his comment. But it was like, I might be wrong, because this was literally, this was like 25 years ago, because it was before 2000, because I was summer help. But it just never made any sense to me that they had that job so fucked up that it took you a week to learn it, just so you could cover somebody that was going to be gone for a day or two. And but that's, again, but when it's the job, it's a little different, not much different. But for the team leaders and the repair guys, it's like, yeah, you don't want those people. Same thing with the inspection people. Those inspection jobs, material jobs too, and they learned the hard way. They had some management person that got run over by one of those management or those material jobs because they had it so fucking overloaded. And the inspection jobs are the same way. I had one of them inspection jobs. Just that one job had more bullshit in the book that you were expected to learn than any team I had ever had. I had never had an entire team when I was team leader that had as much shit, all of the books in it, compared to that one job. That job you could not learn from the book, so they had a fucking board that was like 3 feet high by 2 feet wide with pictures of what you were supposed to do, because they couldn't fit it in the book. And these are the people that are supposed to be catching shit. And then, those jobs, and I can tell you what happened. Everybody treated it like a Christmas tree, and every time somebody had a problem, it's like, oh, well, we'll just hang this fucking piece of shit on SVT, and we'll just hang this piece of shit on SVT. And if you ever have a thing wrong with a job, and you're wondering why it wasn't caught before it left the job, why it was fucked up like that. Like that one thing, I told this story a little bit ago, the job I had was fucked up because some hoses broke off, and it happened to somebody, I was told. It happened to somebody that was at corporate. And so we got this fucking piece of, every new formula was like, well, man, we can do better than that. Yeah, you really can. They never did. But we had to have that hunk of shit on there to make somebody in higher management happy. And they never did their continuous improvement thing where they made it better and slid the wedge under it so we could improve. No, we just had that nonstop piece of shit that fucked up, almost every day and would shut the line down until we got it fixed. And I don't know, but it just that's what they had. And and again, it's because they got these people that have never worked a real job in their life, and like, oh my god, that person was able to scratch their balls for 10 seconds, and then they'd get fucking all excited, and then they'd fucking add some work to it. Well, then pretty soon you got a job that nobody else can do. I had one job. They moved my job over to the engine line, and you were basically stamping the VIN number, I believe on the motor and the transmission. I might be wrong, but I think at the time, we did both. And it had used to been over on the main chassis line next to the guy who next to the guy that stamped the frame of the vehicle with the VIN number. And that job was bad enough when I was on chassis line. When they moved it over to the motor line, they had nothing. Like when I wasn't there, they had a lot of problems because there was nobody that could do it right. And I can't remember what they did. It started out, it was okay. And this was like a management and an engineering thing. They fucked with the job, and what they did was they made it weaker. Because a lot of people, that was one of those finesse jobs. You had to get a feel for it, and if you couldn't get a feel for it, you were never going to be able to do it. But they did something to try and make it better, and what they did is they weakened it, so if you weren't careful, you would bend it. And I had enough, I'm going to call it sensitivity. That goes with some of the martial arts I did, but I had enough sensitivity or finesse, whatever you want to call it, that all I'd have to do is figure out where it needed to be, because that thing would get bent, and occasionally I'd have to bend it back because it'd get there was one girl that covered me. She bent it so much while I was gone, and then when I got back, I couldn't get it to work until I fucking bent it back, and then I just had to find that sweet spot and do it, because it was fucked. And I was told that when I got there, there was a lot of problems. Well, then it started working again, and they go, "What'd you do?" I go, "Look, I'm not an engineer." I go, I'm used to the job, I guess." And then what happened was, I let it go, and it was probably like 6 months or a year that I let that go. And then I basically got a job over in my old area, and I got a job over in my old area and left it. Well, before I left, I think I did. I might not have, but I think I told them what they had to do to fix it. I go, the reason you guys have been having so much problem, I go, when they modified this, they weakened it. I go, you got to find some way to strengthen this part on the gun so it doesn't, because I go, certain people, they're not very delicate and they're bending and it's fucking things up. Well, then it's like the light went on. I don't know if it was my foreman, or I don't know if it was the foreman or the shift leader, but I told the group leader or the shift leader, but I told one of them, and you could just see the fucking light come on, and they had people out there looking it over before the end of the shift so they could get it fixed. But
the night has teeth
oh my God.
Beyond these walls.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and it's
so
lunchtime for the kids. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day,
What do
and
you
then
want
next
sucking
time
the
we will
life out of
adventure
you?
somewhere else in
vampires in the
Diablo.
forest,
Hope everybody
or the
has a
merchants
good
right
day.
here in town?
And again, if you want, check it out later. I'm gonna be talking hopefully about Ed and Lorraine Warren, the Conjuring people. Because like I said, the first 5-10 minutes of that thing, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta watch this right before the stream so I can maybe talk about it. And I gotta stress to you, if you are someone that is interested in UFOs, or if you're interested in the paranormal otherwise, or if you're interested in the ancient archaeology, you guys should all get on the same page, because I got a feeling that what we're gonna find is they're all linked, or at least some of it is all linked. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a great day.